Hey guys, and welcome to my latest movie review for a very surprising movie that literally went straight to Apple Plus, which is, once you see it, you'll question it just as much as I did, why this did not get a theatrical release, which is so bizarre. But anyway, did this movie hold up to the hype? Is this movie way over budget? And are there loopholes in this movie that just make absolutely no sense at all? Everything will be completely unveiled, and I'm going to go deep diving into Fountain of Youth, the brand new movie that went straight to Apple Plus. Let's talk about it, let's discuss it, let's go deep dive straight after this introduction. See you soon, guys. So for anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time, you won't get any spoilers on this review, guys, because I don't like to do those sort of things. Because when I watch a movie, I don't want to know what's going to happen at the end of the film. Like, I like surprises. And so when I do my movie reviews, guys, for those who are new to my channel, hey, welcome. So good for you to be here. I really appreciate you clicking on this link. I don't do spoilers in my movie reviews because I just don't think they're fair. So if you do want to be spoiled by this movie, just go and watch a spoiler movie review so you won't get them here. With that being said, guys, Fountain of Youth. Now, there's movies, especially Netflix movies, that you just watch and you're like, yeah, I get why that got a Netflix release, which kind of will realistically two movies, and I personally saw these two movies in cinema before they got a Netflix release, and that was the two movies with Chris Hemsworth in them. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about Apple Plus. When you see the trailer for this movie, it won't surprise me if your thoughts about this movie were exactly the same as mine. I immediately, just from the trailer alone, I saw this movie, guys, and immediately I said to myself, the budget for this movie is massive. And to my surprise, it was actually nowhere near as big as I thought it was going to be. Still big, don't get me wrong. However, nowhere near to the level that I thought it was going to be, for two reasons really. The first reason is where they actually went with this movie, like the actual locations. And the second thing is the lineup of cast. Now, obviously, John Krasinski is a massive pull for anything. And another cast member that I was genuinely surprised about in this movie, guys, that I just, like, he's got a very worthy note in the trailer. However, his character in this movie is literally maybe 5 minutes, and that's actually Stanley Tucci. Now, his character is not needed, but it's very small. But I want to talk about a sequence in this movie. Again, the sequence is in the trailer, and no word of a lie, guys. If they didn't put it in the trailer, I would actually be questioning why they didn't put it in the trailer. Now, the sequence has a very, 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 very obvious tie-in and very clever tie-in segue to another part of the movie that I'm going to talk about that was totally questionable. So I'll start with the first part of it. I've never in my life ever seen a sequence where they literally, and I don't know whether it was CGI, it looked real, it looked completely real. In fact, I believe it was totally real, and it gave me such a understanding of just how stupidly wealthy Apple is. Like, stupidly wealthy. A, to be able to make a movie like this, but B, to be able to show how unbelievably, ridiculously, mind-blowingly wealthy they truly are. Now, the sequence that I'm talking about is this one here, that was just over my face. This sequence is a sequence in the movie where they do something with a boat. Now, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to find it very difficult to talk about this without spoiling it, but I'm going to try my hardest. They do something with a boat, and how they do this sequence of events with the boat, the boat is above the sea level, okay, so it's on top of the water, and how they do that is just absolutely astronomically brilliant. In it just was so, for me, it was so amazing to see how they did this. Like, it was so clever, it was so brilliant, it was so awesome, it was so incredibly well thought out, it was so unbelievably designedly just flawless. Like, whoever was the cinematographer for this movie, Guy Ritchie had an absolute field day with the photography team, because it was so good. It was so thought out. It was so unbelievably, I mean, it probably wasn't, but it looked like one of the most expensive sets I've ever seen. And speaking of expensive sets, I'm going to talk about another expensive set scene at the end of this movie review, because that was awesome as well. But I want to talk about this because it's a segue into a point of the movie that actually kind of bugged me, guys. So the villain comes into the scene, and how the villain knows that they're there is another, like, whatever. But something happens to the villain in this sequence. Now, I thought, because of what happens to the villain, I thought, and when you see it, you'll get it, you really will. I thought to myself, oh, okay, like, I mean, I'm curious now to see what happens, you know, further on with this character, because you'd think that they're done with the character because of what happens with the character. And when you see it, you'll get it. Like, you'll totally get it. And then in the next sequence, I don't understand in any way, shape, or form at all how, why, what, where they looked at the script and went, oh, okay, we'll do that now. And I was like, why did you do that? Why did you do that in the water sequence? Like, and I will say, in the dialogue, they explain it later, but it's still like, what? Seriously? Like, it was just so. There's just no way that the villain, and I'll tell you who it was. Eiza Gonzalez, who plays the character of Esme. Now, she played an awesome villain. Like, really, I was actually really impressed with her character chemistry with John Krasinski, who plays the character Luke, and his dynamic. The character chemistry with everyone in this movie was absolutely so well thought out. And while I'm talking about character chemistry, I am going to talk about this guy, Domhnall Gleeson, who plays a character called Owen. Now, when I first started watching this movie, so many questions went through my head. So many questions. How are they affording this? How are they affording that? How are they affording that? How are they affording to be on that? That gets explained when Owen has dinner with the character called Thomas, who's played by the character Benjamin Chives. Who's played by the actor Benjamin Chives. Now, when it's pretty funny. They're having, lunch together, and Owen, being as wealthy as he is, he basically, lets him have his first drink, and it's actually a very, very clever, well thought out scene. Now, Thomas's character in this movie, guys, is actually really vitally important to the movie, and I genuinely mean this. Like, it really, really is vitally important to the movie because of his artistic nature, his artistic creativity in music. And we don't really deep dive into his nature or who he is, not compared to what they could have. However, it truly was thought out well enough for them to unpack why his character needed to stay in the movie and be thought out as well as it was. And it's amazing, truly incredible, how he unlocks certain things in this movie. And one of the things that I thought about this movie at the end of it was I didn't think that they were going to go too deeply into something. And the way that Guy Ritchie used an element, and literally element, when I say element, I really mean an element, to this film, he used it in such a digitally creative way. And when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's right at the end of the film. It's really, really, really well thought out. Speaking of well thought out, I've never seen anything like this in a movie. I have never seen anything like this in a movie before, ever. Now, this isn't a spoiler, this is in the trailer. But there's something in this movie to do with the pyramids, okay? And what they do in the pyramids and how they deep dive the story into the pyramids and how they, how they execute the pyramids into developing and unfolding the story and outline of what, the Fountain of Youth, even deeper. It's so epically awesome on scales unimaginably visual to the audience. I've never seen anything like it before. How they did it, how they executed what they created is just so sensationally, mind-blowingly awesome. I was so unbelievably impressed with this movie. Like, truly. I was so gobsmacked by how deep and how awesome they go into so many places in this movie. And I genuinely, wholeheartedly am so surprised that this movie didn't get a theatrical release. I really, genuinely, wholeheartedly don't get it. It just made no sense in any way, shape or form, guys. I truly mean that. This movie should have got a theatrical release in Dolby Atmos. It really should have. The sound design is so enriched. The actual cinematography and editing, especially in the car chase sequence, oh my gosh. Really, it is just so enriched and thought out and so practically brilliant in every sense of the word. I wholeheartedly recommend, and I genuinely mean this, guys, seriously, check out Fountain of Youth. And now, like I said at the beginning of this movie review, guys, unfortunately, if you don't have Apple Plus, then this is like that's the only place this is streaming. It's on Apple Plus, and it is so worth it. It's free on Apple Plus, in case you didn't know, but it is just so worth it. It was so enriched, it is so embellished. And I know I haven't even talked really much about John Krasinski. Like, his role in this, oh my goodness. His acting ability, his acting performance, he just brings his A game no matter what he's in. And he did it again in this movie. This is an absolute, and I really authentically mean this, guys, an absolute must watch. It is a brilliantly, outstandingly, successfully, awesome movie truly in every level imaginable. This is definitely a must watch. It is definitely a go-to movie, and I tell you now, it is for the whole family. Like, truly. Talk about just entertainment value on levels of adventure that this movie just takes you on, truly. And like I said, the end sequence, oh man, they did the most outstanding job in this movie, guys. And I truly, wholeheartedly believe that you're going to be completely entertained by this movie from start to finish. This movie is absolutely just an absolute entertainment juggernaut of epic proportions. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be so unbelievably entertained in every sense of the word. I truly, wholeheartedly encourage you to go and watch this movie. And like I said earlier, guys, the money spent on this movie, I truly thought the budget was so much more than what it was, because when you see it, you'll get it. Like, you really will get it. This movie is an absolute juggernaut masterpiece of epic proportion of cinema. It's awesome, and it didn't even go to cinema, which is why I'm so unbelievably surprised at this movie. However, it is what it is. Guys, you guys have been amazing. Have you had an opportunity to download Apple Plus and check out Fountain of Youth? Because if you haven't, check it out. Seriously, I wholeheartedly mean this. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for taking the opportunity to watch this movie review and to hear my fleshed out thoughts on Fountain of Youth. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you being here. Until my next movie review, whatever that may be, or trailer reaction. Guys, this is Superman Steve, appreciating you always and loving your time. Flying out.